Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Emily the Criminal. I am for some reason very intrigued about this movie. It's a 6.7 on IMDb, only 9,207 people rated so far. It's about a woman who's down on her luck, gets into a credit card scam of some sort, and gets pulled into the criminal underground of Los Angeles and has deadly consequences. Basically, I just quoted what was on IMDb. I didn't come up with all that on my own. But Aubrey Plaza plays the lead in this. That's interesting. I see her more of a dark comedy kind of. She's she's in a lot of comedies, but I also see her in dark comedies. So this is interesting. More of a serious role for her. Theo Rossi, who's been in a lot. Gina Gershon is in it. That's as far as I'm going to go right now, but we'll see. So hour and 37 minutes long. So I don't know. Something in this has me really interested. I don't know if I saw it somewhere. I did not see a TikTok on it. Something I actually had to read, so I don't know. So let's get into it. I'll find out what it's about, give you a better idea. I'll let you know if it's any good. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Emily the Criminal. We're at the 53-minute, 33-second mark. 5333. A little over halfway. I almost forgot to check back in. But anyway, interesting. As I just started to think about this, I'm turning the camera on and starting to do my review. So we have Aubrey Plaza, who, as we know, is the main actor in this, and she basically, to break it down, she's out of art school, not in an actual job for like art. She is actually like in a catering business, so she works for a caterer essentially. But she has $70,000 in debt, student loans, and she has a hard time getting a real job because evidently she has a checkered past, an assault or something like that, or a battery or something like that. And so that kind of they allude to that's why she's not able to get another job. We don't know much more than that, but that's all we have so far. But she's struggling. And that's where she kind of meets Theo Rossi, who runs a credit card fraud ring. And she does a couple of different things for him, and then starts to kind of venture out on her own. Which is kind of interesting that Theo Rossi's character would allow this. But not only did he allow it, but he helped. So, I don't know. Interesting there when you think about it. So his whole way of making things happen, he kind of sides off for a little bit for her, siphons off, whatever. Just doesn't seem to jive. That's what I was saying when I was like, But she's getting in deeper and deeper into the criminal underground, as they mentioned in the beginning. And so other things start to happen when you get involved in all that. But it's just in the beginning. She's been doing it for a little bit, but just starting to see some of the darker side of working in the underworld or whatever. So that and I like the concept, except for that little bit of a hole that I've already mentioned. I like Theo Rossi. I don't like his accent in this. I don't know why they made him have an accent, but I'm not digging it. And there's some scenes that I just don't think I don't know. She just doesn't hit for me on some. A lot of it she's really good, but some of them I'm just like, I don't know. So, I don't know. Yeah, but otherwise it's good. It's entertaining. So, we'll get back to it here. I just want to give you a better understanding of really what the plot line is and what I'm thinking so far. So, let me get back and check in at the end and let you know my final thoughts. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Emily the Criminal, and I tell you what, I've said what I said about the negative aspects of this movie. There are no more, so I don't have to repeat myself. I thought I did catch myself getting on my phone a little bit. I don't know if I was not interested or something was causing that, because I'm kind of interested. You want to see how is it all going to turn out, right? Like, obviously. And maybe that's what I was just waiting for. And so I kept looking at my phone every now and again. So throw that out there. Normally I have a reason, but here I'm not exactly sure. How to catch myself and put the phone down a couple times. So use that as much as you want. But I do like, what they decided to do. you know, in a lot of different movies, I'm trying to guess on what direction they're going to go at the end of this, right? So I do that all the time, and sometimes I'm able to say, hey, I figured it out, you know, and sometimes you overthink them, sometimes you don't, you know. In this case, I was wrong in my thought process, and I thought it was interesting, the route that they decided to take. So that made me enjoy it a little bit more, you know. I like to be surprised, and you know, it's not necessarily cookie cutter. Although this one's a little bit different. It's a different kind of plot line than, you know, sure, it's a criminal movie, but you know, I'm still surprised by the route that they took it, because I usually think that there's a nice formula that people use quite often, and they didn't do it here. That's just my opinion anyway. Maybe you're going to be like, eh, you know, whatever, run of the mill, but maybe not. So I think it's worth watching for that. I thought she was good, except for a couple of moments, as I had mentioned. I don't know, they just seem odd, the way that she carries out a scene in certain situations. Like, I'll just give you one example, because it's not going to be a spoiler or anything like that. She meets a friend at the bar. This is in the beginning, where her friend then tells her about going to Portugal, right? So she's going to go to Portugal, and that interaction, I just didn't, I don't know, it threw me off. I mean, there's nothing major to it. It doesn't really matter in the movie at all. That's just what I'm referring to, is when, you know, she just had an odd interaction. I felt like she didn't respond correctly to what was going on in the scene. You know, and then there's one more. I'll give you another one. She goes to a party where she's meeting people from a potential, with her friend again. She meets a friend at this party, and she gets engaged in conversation with other people, and it's just odd. You know, and I get it, she's uncomfortable answering questions, but the way that the scene played out, just, I don't know. That's all. That's the biggest thing, and I already mentioned his accent, but otherwise, check it out. She had an accent too, but hers was like a Jersey accent. You know, and it seemed a little bit better than what they did with Theo Rossi. Alright, that's it. Definitely worth checking out. Interesting, different, and, you know, that's it. That's all I got. Alright, thanks for tuning in. I'll give it a 6. 5 or 6. 6. I'm going to go with a 6. Alright, you can see where I was going. Alright, sorry. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.